We meet opposite what was formerly the Travellers' Rest, now John Leclerc, who was the first minister of the church. Next to Lochila and down towards the village surgery, this was the Hall Farm. There were 4 farms in the village. There was the Hall Farm, the West Farm as you enter the village, Middle Farm beside the Blagden, and at the far end, past the church, East Farm. Prior to 1801, the village was still a small agricultural settlement, but by 1851, coal mining changed the area. There were about 694 men and boys, some as young as 8, employed in mining. By 1851, there were 500 dwellings in Cramlington, with a population of 3,367, including Shank House, High Pit, Stone Row, East Cramlington, West Cramlington and Bassington, with many migrated from the mines in neighbouring counties. Next we have the garage, which is now empty, and some private dwellings. These were called Laurel Cottages, which have passed down the same family, the Endines, for many generations. The workplace of the Endine monumental sculptors, responsible for the war memorial in the village and in the church, and many of the headstones in the burial ground. As we move along towards the chapel, this was a primitive Methodist chapel. It had a small pond behind it. There was a larger pond where the shopping complex and car park is now for Sainsbury's. The chapel foundation stone was laid by Lady Ridley in 1881. Further stones laid along the base named those involved with the building, unfortunately partially covered by 20th century footpath. The Welcome Chapel on Station Road similarly has names along the base. The chapel has been various businesses over the years: the post office, a double glazing firm, a restaurant stroke bar, and now it's an optician's. Opposite we have Duckworth's undertakers. I remember when I came to Cramlington, there was no shopping centre, there was no supermarket. Duckworth's was a funeral director, and I remember going into this place because he was running a little hardware business, a do-it-yourself store you would call it these days. He would always be dressed in his undertaker's garments, and as you were standing waiting to be served, coffins would be carried up and down the stairs. It is still called Duckworth's today and is still an independent undertaker.